We're looking at the blur, sharpen and smudge tools. These are photographic tools and used often just to improve the kind of impact or the pop of photographs. So this is a pretty low quality stock image that I have, and we're just going to improve it by applying some of those tools. So if I zoom in quite far, you'll see that the background here is a little bit pixelated, and it's really kind of doesn't need to be that prominent. What we need to do is fade that back so that it gives it a kind of depth of field photographic look. So I'm going to go to the blur tool. I'm going to set the strength up to 100 and leave the mode on normal, and then just with a medium-sized brush I'm just going to brush over all of this background stuff, and you'll see that the blur tool it doesn't keep blurring forever. It kind of gets to a point that you might get to with a camera lens, and then it doesn't blur any further than that. So it's quite subtle. Okay, so that's actually quite nice. It's made the background fade away a little bit with a blur. And then what I'm also going to do with a bigger brush is blur out this foreground where the road is closer to the camera, so that we have a field of view that's specifically where the car is. Okay, then I'm going to switch to the Sharpen tool, and up here this tool can be quite aggressive, so you probably don't want to go right up to 100% strength, and also you want Protect Detail to be on. If you leave Protect Detail off, it might actually overcook your photo. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit to the car. Again, this is a pretty low quality photo, but it's fine to work with. And then I'm just going to click and drag over the car bits, and I'll release, and I'll do that one more time. Okay, so that has sharpened that up quite a bit. And then finally I want to add a bit of a blur, so I'm going to go to, a bit of a kind of almost like a speed smudge. So the smudge tool, let me just reset it here, has this setting here, finger painting. So I'm just going to show you what that does. It smooshes things. So what you don't want to do is use finger painting here. It could be appropriate for another application, but in this case we don't want finger painting. And then I'm just going to change the mode to, actually I'll leave it on normal, leave the strength on 50, put the brush up fairly large, and we're just going to smudge it a little bit. Okay, that's too much, the strength is too high then. Let me take it down, say to 15. So I'm just going to slightly smudge out the one side, so it kind of gives the impression that the car's really going fast and the camera kind of didn't capture everything exactly sharp because of that speed. So so that's an application of the blur, sharpen and smudge tools. And if you wanted to take it a step further, I mean, this I'm just kind of going with this at the moment, is and this isn't to do with the blur, sharpen and smudge tools. If you wanted to kind of take this through to a really high impact sport shot, what we could do is take our elliptical marquee tool and make a selection around the car, something like that. Feather the selection, so select, modify, feather, and let's just put it on 30 pixels, and then invert the selection so that everything else is selected, and go to filter, blur, radial blur, and then in this radial blur here I'm going to put it on zoom, put the amount up to 100, and then this little proxy represents where you want the zoom to come out from. So I'm going to put it approximately where the car would be in relation to this little proxy, and then press OK and deselect. Okay, so that gives you that kind of photographic zoom effect, like the cameraman has zoomed in very quickly and captured the car. Okay, so it just gives you an idea of some of the possibilities with the blur, sharpen, and smudge tools. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you next time.